On May 16, in probably one of the most expected news events of the day, the internet suspension in Manipur was extended for 5 more days. Now, I doubt anyone was expecting internet services to be restored amid the ongoing tensions. Yes, incidents of violence have come down and the state is trying its best to limp to normalcy. But let no one be fooled. People are still in shelter camps. Political leaders are not seeing eye to eye. Rebels have gone beyond party affiliations and are now openly talking about separation in one form or the other. And it may be years before communities can once again trust each other as human beings, not mere members of a community. Why then should the internet not remain suspended for now? As some of you may know or remember, I was in Manipur the day the state descended into absolute chaos. What I noticed in Churachandpur has been well documented extensively in our stories from the place. Of course, since we were in Churachandpur, we were called anti-one community. But we have addressed those allegations to the best of our ability in the editorial we published last week. You can read it by clicking the link in the description and in this video where we sat down and explained our position in great deal. This video is not about me. It is about what I, Kalyan Dev, and our editorial team received in the name of information, which has led me to believe that maybe the internet ban was one of the few things the government got right. And I'm saying this even though this meant several journalists, especially those with similar media houses, could no longer do much work. Allow me to explain. For months.
The village of Assam
in the 75th Independence Day.
Remember May 3? Remember how it began? The only thing working harder than the organizers of the Atsum rally were those sharing information online. Now, yes, the rally was big, but how many attended the rally? Online, some people put the number around 10,000, others put it closer to 50,000. Does the number matter? At that time, not really. But it soon became clear that for many, the very fact that so many people had gathered was news in itself. For some, this was a sign of hope. For others, it was a warning. Pictures soon went viral and thus became a catastrophic phase of sharing information without any checks and balances. For some, people were marching in Churachandpur with AK-47s. For others, the AKs arrived later. For some, illegal migrants were marching. For others, the indigenous people were sending a strong, united message. And then a gate burnt. By the evening of May 3, Manipur had descended into chaos. Mobile internet was shut down, but people did not stop sharing and relaying information, updates, posts, and anything and everything that caught their eye. If you remember, both communities blamed the other for the burning of the gate, and rightly so. We may be Indians, but we are always first members of our communities and we will go to any lengths to defend ourselves. Add confirmation bias to the mix and soon your feed will be flooded with news that will convince you that the other side is the enemy. Confirmation bias is the tendency of people to favor information that confirms their existing beliefs or hypotheses. Confirmation bias happens when a person gives more weight to evidence that confirms their beliefs and undervalues evidence that could disprove it. To put it simply, a Meitei or Kuki is much more likely to believe the news that supports their understanding, beliefs and or positions. Take the news of rape, for example. Nearly every journalist in Manipur started receiving reports that in A village of B district, C number of people from D community were raping women from the E community. What is one supposed to do when they hear this? Indians are an emotional bunch of people and Manipur is no different. On the night of May 3, as Meiteis and Kukis both came under attack, the online world resembled a battlefield too. Kuki people wanted us to believe that Meitei men were raping Kuki women, and Meitei people were sending messages of similar reports about such heinous acts committed by the Kukis. Now, in the name of covering both sides, should we have put out both such news items? Of course not. We could not confirm such reports, and rightly so. They were baseless, and till date, no agency has confirmed any news of rape among any community. Then there were those outside Manipur who found in a burning Manipur enough fuel to rekindle their own political fires. For those against the BJP, it became an amazing tool to humiliate and badmouth the ruling dispensation, and if this meant sharing unrelated images, wrong information, or even fake reports, so be it. Those who think their community is always in danger found enough to. For them, this became a Hindu versus Christian, Sanatan versus Videshi, indigenous versus migrants, and whatnot. The government soon realized that turning off mobile internet was like using a band-aid on a gunshot wound. Within 24 hours, all internet had been snapped off. In case we have not made it clear, or just in case someone is in doubt, we are reiterating our stance. The internet ban hurts us, and thousands of people are worse off because of it. We are merely trying to understand and explain the rationale behind this while keeping the conflict in mind. Despite the ban on internet, social media was still going on unabated, telling us anything and everything they wanted to promote. According to some, mobs in Imphal were shooting people as and when they wanted, while according to others, militants had overtaken Churachandpur completely and were keeping Churachandpur's Meitei population in thousands as captives. Now, if you saw the news, you would have seen that the Meitei population was in the mini secretariat, which, last we checked, comes under the government. Thousands of Meiteis were not kidnapped, just as hundreds of Kukis had not been shot dead in Imphal. Am I saying that people have not died? I'm Bengali, not stupid of course. People have died, but if you believe that militants turned Manipur into Iraq or Syria, no. The truth, as always, lays somewhere in the middle, and thanks to the ban on the internet, the truth has also got some time to breathe. After the ban, even if people were still calling each other and sharing information without needing to substantiate them, at least they were not getting incensed at what the other side was posting. Here is the ugly truth. You can have an Avenger-sized army of fact-checkers and that will still not be enough. Why? Because even in 2023, fact-checking is almost exclusively an English medium domain. There are just a few Hindi fact-checking sites, and even those barely, if ever, focus on the Northeast. Now you tell me, your state is on fire and you, a member of community A, finds information that says your community members are under siege. Will you wait for a fact-checker to deny or confirm? Unlikely. India's mind-boggling diversity when it comes to languages also poses its own set of issues, right? Ever heard of a Meitei fact-checking news site? If you know, let us know. The same for Kuki news outlets. None of them have dedicated fact-checking sites, and given their resources, they are unlikely to do so too. When news cannot be negated, called out, or simply removed for being fake, that too in real time, what other options do we have? The ban on the internet has left thousands with no clear source of the correct information, and many more with no way to communicate with the outside world. However, the sad truth is, we are living in a time when misinformation can turn seemingly simple events into catastrophic moments. Unless we find a way to effectively launch filters that can somehow check information and link and refute those that are fake immediately, banning the internet is simply the only option. Misinformation is a weapon too sophisticated. Right now, we seem to be finding a biological weapon with tools from a Paleolithic age. If the death toll is close to 100 in Manipur, one can only imagine what the toll might have been had the internet been allowed to function.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.